Hello, YouTubers. This is Eddie Goldsmith, aka known as Lone Green. That's right. And this is the third episode of Advice with yours truly, Lone Green. That's right. I'm going to talk to you about this specific topic that we get to all understand is special needs.
And some of you people might not know what's special needs. Do you have problems or something? Or why do you need to talk about it? Well, the reason I want to talk about it is about special needs. It's a very serious thing, but at some point, in general in life, when people have problems, don't understand when it comes to situation you don't understand, like as what kind of problems you have when you don't know what you've been diagnosed or anything like that. You might see some TV shows known as Born Naughty. But at some point in the Born Naughty, you'll get it's basically a program. It's about if your kid's been misbehaving and all that, or maybe the child's not born naughty. He might have some special needs. Depending on a syndromes or something like that kind of thing, but a system it is. There's so many special need names and all that sort of thing. When it comes to what you're diagnosed from, there are so many things. I might give you a list of it. You got the moderate difficulties. That's all I know of. Asperger's, autism, Down syndromes, and dyslexic syndrome or something, and all other things all the other things you might not know. It depends. There are so much lists. You can see. It depends on your diagnosis of special needs. I might give you a little talk about it. Something about how to give you understand what it does, and I want to make sure you might need to learn about these things, because at some point in today's future, you got a lot of different people could do little slangs or depends how to be like a chav or hipster or being all rad and hip kind of thing. And don't take me kindly about me saying about you taking offensive to a chat or that sort of thing. I'm not taking arguments. I'm just trying to talk about stuff and it's something important about special needs. Anyway, there are so many things you might need to learn these things. And when it comes to modern difficulties, autism, and all that special needs you might know of, like I already just mentioned just a moment ago. Anyway, I'm going to be explaining to you what it is. So I'm going to see I might show you a bit of the understanding of the whole list. Luckily, I might look it up on the computer for you. So hang tight, and I'll probably read it to you. So here we go. As I'm now I just moved off my own spot, and I'm going to show you this computer right now to read to you right now. So here's what I'm going to read to you right now. I might put it on a screen, or I'll let you talk. I'll talk to you through it and understand. But if you don't understand, I'll make a huge list of the names of anything like that, or anything you're diagnosed of with special needs or anything. Then you can understand what kind of symptoms you are. Then you can look it up and find out yourself. But I'll read some of it to you so you can get the understanding of where I'm coming from. So here we go. The next video, what this system is, is Asperger's syndrome. Well, if those of you don't understand what Asperger's are, you probably don't understand. This is the best. I'm going to give you what I can. If you go into the section of Wikipedia, you'll probably understand. But technically, I will read it to you now. The Asperger's, also known as Asperger's syndrome, Asperger's disorder, or simply Asperger's, it's an autism spectrum disordered from ASD, that is just in short-term slang, that is a characteristic of significant difficulties in social interactions and non-verbal communication, alongside restriction to repetitive patterns of behavior and interest. Indifferent from other autism spectrum disorder by irrelevant to perceptive procession, or sorry, I pronounced the words wrong. I do apologise. Of intelligent and conservative development. Sorry, I try to get the words right, so I'll probably explain that after this explaining of the specific. It did, although not required for diagnosis, physical clumsiness and atypical, particular or odd. Used to the languages that are frequently reported, the diagnosis of Asperger's was eliminated in the 2013 fifth edition of the Diagnostic and Stapler Manual of Mental Disorder of DSM Line 5, and replaced it by the Diagnostic of Autism Spectrum Disorder of the Several Scale. I'm going to go stop to that point, and then that's just mainly you get the idea of where I'm coming from. So the next thing I would like to talk to you is also, when it comes to words of the whole thing, is we got an autism spectrum. For those of you who don't understand it, that's just the main thing when it comes to the mostly all the autism, and when it comes to like Asperger's is related. But I'll just give you a little part of it. I might know some autism because I might know something because I have that as well. But anyway, the autism spectrum is basically the autistic spectrum, and if you describe it, a range of condition classified as neurodevelopmental disorder in the fifth revision of the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Stately Manual of Mental Disorder, 5th edition of the DSM-5, like I already said in this about Asperger's. Anyway, the DSM-5 published this in 2013, like we already did, is redefined and autism spectrum of encompassed the previous DSM-5, or what is it, 4TR, I don't know, you might get around to it if you know the numbers of it, a diagnosis of autism, Asperger's syndrome, pelvis development disorder, not otherwise specific. So next to PDNOS in the brackets, and there's childhood sorry, I tried to read it carefully. The words is I was supposed to say. I think it's childhood disintegrative disorder. These sensory issues is in some cases in cognitive display. Sorry, I was just trying to get the idea of the word. Yeah, that's mainly it. That's how it is. I'm just saying that point. So that's partly what the idea of the autism spectrum is. And then we get another one. I'll give you one more. I'll give you about one more thing, and is that, and I'll probably explain it to you about one thing you might recognise this, or you might see it on some television shows, or anybody who's also diagnosed of it. So here we go. Anyway, this is another part. One more thing about autistic is known as Down syndrome. It's autistic spectrum disorder. Well, basically, I will read it to you right now. As I'll read it to you anyway, but please do listen carefully. I'll try my best to get the idea of what I'm talking about, but I'm going to read it up to that point, and then, if you want to try and figure out what is it, really want to know the rest of it, if you know the diagnose, then I'll see what I can do for you. But I'm going to do what I can. So anyway, the Down syndrome is autistic spectrum disorder is another part of it. Anyway, it's autistic spectrum disorder of Down syndrome is hereafter called it autistic disorder. Occurred more often in child with Down syndrome than in other children, but less often than in other learning disabled groups, such as peripheral may be high there as 5%. That's the part of it. I'm just reading a part of what I can. There is a often reluctant stance, to consider the possibility of dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autistic disorder. For the recent diagnosis in frequently much delayed, there are two reasons for failure of diagnosed autistic disorder in children with Down syndrome are: 1. The misplaced notion that children with Down syndrome are always sociable, therefore they cannot be autistic. Number 2. Lack of awareness of an unusual development profile of those with Down syndrome. As with other children, neurobiological factors rather than served intellectual disability most frequently underlie the condition of particular importance in a relevant high prevalence of infantile spasms, I think it was. Spasm, whatever you call it. Spasm. Sorry I couldn't get the words from what come out of my mouth, because I had a tricky to get the words right. Oh dear, I sound like Stewie now. Anyway, that's the part I might do is, but there's many things you might need to learn. I'm going to do the cut that point is, so yeah. That's mainly it. So yeah, I'm going to make myself magically back to the sofa in 3, 2, 1. Oh, time travels so quick, and I just realised that it's dark. Sorry. Anyway, well, that's all. So yeah, that's all basically I know of the special needs. But basically, I might have been diagnosed of 3 special needs, specifically of autistic spectrums or whatever. I have been diagnosed of modern difficulties, a little bit of autism, and mainly Asperger's. Depends how much you don't make me lose my temper. But in seriousness, I can help you understand the special needs. I can relate to that, because some of you guys I might know who has special needs, but at some point I might not, because I can relate to people's problems whenever it's been ups and downs and that. As long as you get to talk to somebody and be there for someone, that's it. That's all there is. Just be there for somebody who you care about. It's what that's what I do. I just sit around trying to sit down, talk about it, anything you like, and that sort of thing. That doesn't matter whether you have special needs or not. That's still the same. You can just be yourself. That, to me with special needs, I never let that get in my way. I just carry on as normal. Even when I have special needs, I never think about it. Just be yourself and that sort of thing. You don't have to make fun. People usually make fun of their special needs because they think they're much better than them. Imagine that. Those type of people are sick and sad, pathetic lot. Yeah, you know what I mean. They don't usually mess around. They shouldn't be messed around with people with special needs. But if people are like those things, don't let them get to you. Don't let the people take the mockery or piss take or bully you because you have special needs and you don't know what to do. That doesn't. Even though you have your own way, you can't let them get to you. You are who you are. Just be yourself, and that's the best thing you are. That's what the best thing is about you guys. If people have special needs, they do respect you, and who has not respect to you, they could be such a fucking effing dumb morons who have no brain and are kindness to be in respect to other people. So yeah, basically, if you want that advice, best ideal is that if you have been bullied by special needs, or have been diagnosed with special needs already specifically, just go. If you're not sure what you're aware of what your special needs are, if you have any specifically like has been mentioned in this video, you can always talk to your folks, because talk to your parents about it. If you have got special needs, if they're not trying to be funny or anything, if they are, then just just ignore them. You just do some research on specifically on your own special needs. If you have like problems and difficulties and that sort of thing in your life, like you have to understand, just go online and talk things through. Just look things up, find out about it. And then if you don't know, then you have to type everything down. What's your problems in special needs? Is it what you have in difficulties in your social life, or your own terms your own skills and all that sort of thing? They're probably you just have to look through it, and then you might find out. But best thing is if your folks are understanding and who knows about your special needs and all that sort of thing. Best ideal is talk to your parents about it, or anyone who's like a family member who knows about it, about your life, your whole history. If they are decent enough to sit with you and talk to you, that's fine. The best thing is just sit down, talk to you, and then that's it. Yeah, but that's the best thing you deal with. Figure out about your special needs and that. Talk to your folks. If you have special needs, like those specific, like Asperger's, modern difficulties, autism, Down syndrome, dyslexic syndrome, all that sort of thing. Anything that special needs to be mentioned that I just mentioned now, probably there's loads you might want to check it out. Best ideal is just talk to your parents and then find out about it. If you're that certain, try to remember the name of that you're diagnosed. If there is a such thing that is, then good. If it isn't, then don't listen. Just best thing is check it first, then you can judge after. But then here's another thing when it comes to bullying, getting bullied by people who's treating you, think you've got special needs, and think you're slow, or all that sort of thing, and being mean to you. Best idea is ignore them. Don't rise above it. Because, one, what's the point? Secondly, they are a waste of space, and if you're that worried, then get someone to complain about it. If you are complaining about it in school or college, get a member of staff to deal with a situation, or even you're in the college years, and that'll be probably a different way, get a friend who is supportive, who knows that kind of thing. Like, if you have a friend who knows what they're doing, then get them some help. They'll be more than happy to deal with them, because they wouldn't like it to get mistreated and being disrespectful. I wouldn't like that kind of thing. Besides, I try to look after people and then help out and then understand these things. Like I said, just talk to somebody. Just be there for one. If it's your friend who has special needs, be supportive in every way. Whenever it has problems and they need some bit of help, be there for your friend. That's it. That's what kind of friends are for. Look out for one. It's like, if you have a best friend, always be there and look out for one another. Because even though, without friends, you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be here at all. If you have family there for you, that's good. But having friends is good as well, because friends always helps you out, give you some opportunities to help. Because if you did something to help them, they'll give you back. They'll give you something in return to pay the favor. That's the best ideal when you have special needs. It's an opportunity. With special needs or not, it can lead you somewhere. Somewhere you could give you great opportunities or something. You never know. Just keep your fingers crossed. That's the best thing you can. So yeah, that'll be this will be the conclusion of the special needs with your advice with yours truly. I thank you for your time to enjoy this video. So don't forget, please subscribe down on this channel if you're new to this thing. And then don't forget to check out the links in the description that was mentioned in this video. And don't forget to check out all my social medias and that sort of thing. And I'll probably just do one. And then if you're that interested, you can always